Welcome everybody to the Kick and Makeup interview series. I'm your host, the American Hybrid Nick Cunningham, and we're here with Junior Hot-Handed Hernandez here at Gravity Fitness / home of the Miletich Fighting Systems fighters. And we wanted to have you on, man. Welcome to the show. And it was a long week for you, and so I know a lot of the fans in the Quad Cities and everywhere were really behind you for this fight. And I just wanted you to have a couple minutes and talk about how you're feeling now and a little bit about the fight.
Well, obviously the fight didn't go my way. It happens. I'm at the highest level of the sport, so any little opening, it's always great when you're dishing that out, but when you're on the receiving end, it's not as fun, But there's only two options in sport: winning and losing. No excuses. Everything leading up to the fight was great. I did my first training preparation for this fight at American Top Team for the 5 weeks I was away. I was down in Florida training, and everything leading up to the fight was great. I can't make excuses. I won't. But it just in the moment didn't go my way. So I really can't say, like I said, anything too much about it other than I just want to appreciate all the support I got regardless of the outcome. I know the fans are still behind me. I know my family's still there. I know my friends are still behind me. So that's all I can say is just I appreciate all that support, and it makes the tough times like this, when I fall, it's easier because I have such a support system to catch me, so it's great just to be home,
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, being a staple here at MFS, how was American Top Team, and what were some of the things that you liked there that were different than your training here?
Honestly, just to focus on myself. I could just go through and just be another number, just be another person. And they knew obviously who I was and what fight I was preparing for, and so I got a little more attention than maybe if I would just walked in as a nobody. But it was just nice to be able to focus on myself and get away from things. I didn't have to really cook dinner for my girlfriend. I didn't have to walk my dog. Just the little things, little details of your day-to-day life that can kind of become a hassle when you're trying to focus solely on training and dieting and just all the little details that go into your fight preparation. So it was just nice to be in isolation, I guess I could say.
Right. And I won't go in depth about the fight. I'm sure you're sick of talking about it, but I do want to hit a couple points with the weight cut too. I know that you were really big on sharing, like we talked about, your diet and everything. But did you feel comfortable at 35 come fight night?
Yeah, I do. I felt great at 35. I had a tougher time making 45 than 35, and I've had a tougher time making 55 before. Obviously I've made those cuts probably tougher on myself, but this one to 35, it wasn't that. It wasn't. I felt weak. I felt depleted. I felt great. I'll fight at 35 again. That's my home. I think that's the weight class I can do the most damage at, and at the highest level, that's why I have to give myself every advantage. I felt great at 35. Dolce diet is kind of the concepts that I use and I follow. It's really not really a diet, it's just kind of some minor changes that you can do in the right foods at the right times, and it helped great. I was hydrated going into the fight. I ate the morning of my weigh-ins, which I don't think I have done that for years. So I felt awesome.
And just in talking about the fight too, you guys started off, it was literally, cliche fireworks starting off, trading back and forth. You landed a good one. It seemed like when he landed the kick, that was really the beginning of the end of the fight, basically. How hard did that kick register, and what was going through your mind at that point?
I can't really. The kick kind of hit me in the neck. I didn't get my hands up high enough to block it. It's just in the moment, and I don't know, it was the kick, and then I think he clipped me with the right hand, and then from there I just was kind of on autopilot. I kind of fought off the choke for a second, and then even looking back at the fight now, when he actually had the choke in, I should never have tried to exchange from my back and try punching. But again, I can't say what I would have done differently or what I should have done differently. I just know, I was on autopilot. I wasn't really reacting the right way. Didn't have my wits about me, but. You live and you learn. Like I said, you're only as good as your last fight. And the thing that's been getting me through the loss and kind of the humiliation is I look at Anderson Silva's situation. Not that I'm anywhere near him, but just the concept of it. If you look at what he had done leading up before the Weidman fight, how he'd gone through Rich Frontech and how he blew through everybody over the past 7 to 9 years. 16 fights, I think, as a title holder, undefeated and undisputed. go out there and get knocked out by Chris Weidman. And if you ask people about Anderson Silva now, what are they really going to refer to first and foremost is probably how he got knocked out and looked foolish against Chris Weidman, even though all he had done is forgotten. Now it's kind of like it's kind of ironic that that's how it is, but that's the sport. You know, you're only as good as your last fight. I know I still have 3 fights under my contract, at least in the UFC. So all I can do is bounce back and make sure that doesn't happen again.
Right, and we're very excited to see your next one, and I know that even just talking to you now, you're breaking it down, just attitude-wise, you're not one to mope around. You're back here helping your team, doing what you need to do. So I know we're all excited, and I know a lot of people are anxious to find out when you fight next. I know you are too, man, and hopefully it's sooner than later. So just closing, any last words before we get out of here?
I just want to thank everybody that's behind me. Like I said, I have a great support system. My family, friends, girlfriend, everybody behind me. My team, American Top Team, obviously for getting me ready for the fight. I train here when I'm not training for a fight at Gravity. It's a great place to train at for martial arts or otherwise. Obviously, my sponsors, Complete Nutrition of the Quad Cities, Mommy's Authentic. They're out of Iowa City. Rev Gear. They're MMA clothing apparel. They got great stuff. Check them out. Team Extreme Athlete Management. I know I'm going to forget some people, but just mainly I just want to thank everybody that supports the sport, whether you support me or not. I know I have people that like me. I know I have people that don't like me. But if you support the sport, then that's all that matters to me, because the sport can change people's lives. I know it has mine, and that's all I can say. Is just continue to do that.
Well, thank you for being on the show, man. I know we'll be talking all the time soon, and that about does it here for the Kick and Makeup interview series here at Gravity Fitness with Junior Hernandez. Check us out on Twitter at Hybrid MMA is mine, at Kick and Makeup is the show's. www.kickandmakeup.com is where all of our archived things are about the show, interviews, all of our coverage of everything we do, and then also our Facebook page. Make sure you get in that and join the group so you can have all the updates for everything going on. That about does it for the Kick and Makeup interview series show. I'm the American Hybrid Nick Cunningham. Remember, don't solve it in the streets, take it to the cage and kick and make up.